Tournament. The final featured Old Dominion taking on Virginia Commonwealth. Old Dominion mascot Big Blue throwing up baby powder during pregame. That would cause an issue during the game. Check this out, Neil. Early first half, VCU up 3. Ed Dixon off the turnover misses the layup, and check out how he lands. They actually had to stop play for 15 minutes as the floor is wiped down. It's Powdergate in Richmond. Back to the game. Still in the first half, Old Dominion up 8. Kent Bazemore to Keon Carter, and Old Dominion up 10. Later in the first, Jamie Skeen, 3-ball, no good. Frank Cassell gets the rebound and, ouch, catches Nixon right in the face. The officials ruled it an intentional foul. Cassell led ODU with 22 points, and Nixon catches a hard one right there. Had his mouth stitched up at the half. He would return. ODU with a 20-6 rebounding edge in the first half. And then Bazemore off the turnover with a big finish. Old Dominion up by 16. They led by as many as 18. VCU down 14 now on the inbounds. Nixon to Skeen. 12-point game. Under 8 minutes to play. VCU down 7. Skeen. Backdoor cut, up and under. Put him on the line as well. Skeen made the free throw. He had 18. VCU down just 4. 5 minutes to play. Still a 4-point game. Skeen misses. Bradford Burgess with the rebound and the putback. He led the Rams with 19. 2-point game. Under 4 minutes to play. Old Dominion up 3. Darius James misses. But there's Bazemore. Right place, right time. He had 14. Monarchs back up 5. Under 2 minutes to play. 4-point game now. Ben Finney up top to Bazemore. Excellent execution by the Monarchs. They shot 59%. They go on to win it 70-65 to win the tournament for the second straight year. So ODU heading to the NCAA Tournament for the second straight year. Last season, you may remember, they upset Notre Dame in the first round. ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi, who correctly picked 64 of 65 teams in last year's tournament, projects the Monarchs as a 9 seed.
West Coast Conference. Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Gales beat the Zags in this game last year. They split the regular season games. Mickey McConnell, he was your player of the year for the conference. He hit the game winner at Gonzaga when the Gales won in Spokane. Stephen Gray had 15 points. He's Mark Few's lone senior. There is bad blood between these two teams. McConnell ball fake, and then the off-balance 3. He had 24. St. Mary's up 5. How about some transition by America's team? David Stockton to Mike Harton. Where's John? There he is, tight lip, apple, tree, you know the deal. Gonzaga +5 at the half. Second half, Rob Jones to Matthew Dellavedova. Scrappy player, 21 points. And then Stockton, the rainbow. He had 7 points, 3 assists. 4 minutes to go. St. Mary's down 6. Clint Steindl. Yeah, 3-point game. But then it's Stockton to Malone. Stockton to Robert Sacre. Sacre, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 block shots. Gonzaga, 75-63 in the tournament field for a 13th straight season. That's the 4th longest active streak. Our ESPN bracketologist, Stan mentioned Joe Lunardi. He projects Gonzaga as a 10 seed. He's got the Gales going to the tournament as a 10 seed as well. MAAC. St. Peter's is a 4 seed. A 4 seed has never won this tournament. 0-5 all-time in the title game, and to beat that St. Peter's, they've already been beaten by Iona twice this season. Average margin of victory, 16 points. But here it is, St. Peter's up 4, even after Scott Machado found Michael Glover there for Iona. Then Wesley Jenkins, the old-fashioned 3. St. Peter's up 8, 50 seconds to play. St. Peter's up 6. Machado can't finish. Glover, loose ball, puts it in. He led all scorers with 23. It's a 4-point game. Ensuing inbounds play. Oh, somebody's tight. Turnover. Trinity Fields, if he can hit the 3, we got a ball game. But Iona, 3 of 18 from 3. St. Peter's, 62-57. We beat the number 1 and the number 2. We're number 1 now. That's what one of the St. Peter's kids said. And another one said,
what?
He said, we're the new Butler.
Oh,
you're not used to, there you go. Weren't they fun to watch? Yeah. If you're not used to seeing St. Peter's on your tourney brackets, because they haven't been there since 1995. This will be the Peacocks. The Peacocks' 3rd appearance all time.
Southern Conference Championship game. Wofford taking on the College of Charleston. Charleston won both regular season meetings. Nation's 4th leading scorer, Andrew Goudlock, Plays for the College of Charleston. Let's check him out in the first half. The pull-up jumper goes. Godlock, three-pointer. Bang, bang, bang. Turnaround jumper. Had that working as well. 11 first-half points. Cougars up 4 at the half. But Godlock picked up his third foul with 18 seconds left in the half. Bobby Crimmins said he probably should have taken him out. 8 minutes to go in the second half. Godlock called for the offensive foul. That's his fourth, so now he's got to take him out. Ensuing Wofford possession, Cameron Rundles. He had 21. Wofford came in on a 7-game win streak. They had a 4-point lead. Over 6 minutes to play. Crimmins forced to put Godlock back in the game. And he's back knocking down shots. 4 of 8 on triples. He had 25. Charleston down 3. But Noah Dahlman gets going. One of 3 players from Minnesota on Wofford's team, who all knew each other growing up. They all play together now at Wofford. Dahlman, 20 points in the game. And then Dahlman sealing it. Wofford wins the SoCon title 77-67. You had the Peacocks. We got the Terriers. They're the best in show in the Southern Conference. They get the automatic bid for the 2nd straight year. So back into the tournament. Last year, they lost to Wisconsin in the first round. And again, hot team right now. They entered the tournament on an 8-game winning streak. But the Southern Conference, just 13-43 all-time in the NCAA Tournament at Madison Square Garden. It's Villanova in South Florida. You see Villanova's run in the last 14 games. It's on Esther ugly. 25 seconds to go. Villanova up by 1 with 1 timeout. Malik Wayne's inbounds pass is stolen by Anthony Crater, and he hits the layup. Could have called a timeout, but he throws up a dangerous pass. Crater picks it off. The Bulls up 1. Villanova led by 16 at 1 point. 12 seconds to go. Wayne's made his first free throw, makes the second one. Villanova back up by 1. South Florida inbounds, brings the ball up the court. Now, Crater said he was designed to come off a screen here, but he saw the lane open, and so he went for it. So South Florida up by 1. Back comes Villanova. 5.1 seconds remaining. Waynes trying to redeem himself. No, sir. And South Florida pulls off the upset. Take another look at the winning basket. You see, Dominique Cheek, the defender, takes his eyes off Crater. Can't lose your man like that. South Florida wins at 70-69. They face Cincinnati Wednesday night. Sun Belt Player of the Year that year. Little Rock Solomon Bozeman, the Player of the Year this year. He was key in the final Tuesday against North Texas. 30 seconds to play. North Texas up 1. Josh White, 3-ball. Bang, bang, bang. And North Texas is up 4. Ensuing possession for Arkansas Little Rock. There's Bozeman, Player of the Year, handing it off to Matt Mosey. 3-ball for him. 2 Trojans down 1. They came in a 5 seed. They had lost 3 in a row coming into this tournament. On the inbound, Shannon Shorter's pass off the mark. Mosey opened for 3. Can't hit it. Tristan Thompson fouled on the rebound. He would make 1 free throw. Went 20 for 20 at the line in the quarterfinals. But he only made 1 that time. And then there's Bozeman. Big shot. Step back 3. He had 20 points. Gives a little shove to Shannon Shorter and then hits the 3. Their coach, Steve Shields, Arkansas Little Rock's coach, said he felt pretty good about their chances coming in because there's so much parity in his league. North Texas down 1, 1.5 seconds to play. They get the turnover. Trojans in the tournament for the first time since 1990. They went 8-22 last season.
I'm going to go Summit League final. It's Oakland, Michigan against Oral Roberts. That's the 1 and the 2. Oakland beat Oral Roberts twice this season. Remember, this is the team that also won at Tennessee. They're up 14. Liedrich Eccles, the rebound, and then he just says, you know what, it's my basketball, and I'm just going to the hole with it. 12-point lead for the Golden Grizzlies at half. Oral Roberts still fighting back. Warren Niles, he's going to go 3+1, convert a 4-point play, and Golden Eagles take the lead, but it is all Oakland after that. Reggie Hamilton, old-fashioned 3. He had 26, and then moments later, Drew Valentine to Keith Benson. Too big. 28 points, 14 rebounds for Benson. Oakland, 90-76, 3rd ever NCAA tournament appearance.
Horizon League final. Butler won last year on the way to the national title game. You remember their run. But this year, Wisconsin-Milwaukee is the top seed. They beat Butler twice during the regular season. But Milwaukee, well, they came out flat. Kalon Williams misses a 3-pointer. Gerard McCollum misses a jumper. Tony Boyle, he can't hit either. Milwaukee, 4 for 19 from the floor in the first half. Later first half, Butler up 15. Matt Howard doing his thing. He was 4 for 5 from the floor in the first half. He hit as many buckets as Milwaukee. Butler up 33-20 at the break. Let's go second half now. Butler up 3. It's Howard. Puts the Bulldogs up 5. He had 18 points. Shelvin Mack had 14. He gives it up to Howard, and after Howard talked about facing a team that had beaten them twice during the season.
You know, there was a lot of motivation, no doubt, playing this team with the way they played against us so far this year and the way we played against them. The guys really showed it tonight.
So Butler back in. They take it 59-44 to take the Horizon League title. Oh, Neil, we got a situation for the two Jersey schools.
A scenario?
Everybody was there but Snooki. Under 30 seconds ago, Rutgers down 2 against Seton Hall. Jonathan Mitchell. The 3 is good, and Rutgers up by 1. Under 10 seconds left, Pirates down through Jordan Theodore. Kicks it to Jeremy Hazel, and he knocks it down. Rutgers inbounds. James Beatty just has to throw it up, but it doesn't land where he wanted it to. So let's go back to Hazel's shot. I mean, he's way beyond the NBA three-point line even. 2 defenders on him, doesn't matter. He had 27 points. He said he thought it would be a momentum changer. And take a look at the Pirates bench. Look at that. 35's on the bench, but he's got the championship belt on. That's Peter Dill. Game hits overtime, tied at 64. That momentum changer didn't work out. Beatty is able to knock that one down. Second time the two schools from New Jersey have met in the tournament. Rutgers won the last time, and Rutgers won this time. Pirates forced a foul, and Rutgers goes on to win it 76-70. They will get St. John's next. I don't know if anybody wants to play St. John.
No, not on that court. Marquette and Providence. If the Big East gets 11 teams in the NCAA Tournament, our bracket expert says he believes Marquette will be that 11th team. Marquette, Darius Johnson Odom, it's 6-0. Johnson Odom, it's 12-0. Jay Crowder, it's 17-0. Marquette made 6 of its first 8 shots, including 5 threes. Providence missed its first 11 shots. Crowder to Chris Otuli. It was 46-33 at the half. Never closer than 7 in the second. Crowder the strip. Johnson Odom the finish. Marquette plus 12, and then Johnson Odom, who had 23, finishes it off. Marquette 87-60 shoot. 87-66. Say that 3 times fast.
Let's check it out. Rutgers taking on St. John's. Red Storm playing its first game after a first-round bye. Second half, Rutgers down 4. Mike Colburn loses the handle. Malik Booth grabs a loose ball, and look at the pass to Justin Brownlee for the dunk. 13 for Brownlee, and Booth making plays from his booty. And St. John's up 6. Minute left. Rutgers down 2. Colburn, quick move. Bucket and the foul. Rutgers up 1 after he made the free throw. Next St. John's possession. Gilvitas Baruta gets called for the foul away from the basket, giving Dwight Hardy a 1-and-1. Hardy hits both free throws. Red Storm up 1. 17 for Hardy in the game. But then Hardy, with 14 seconds to go, loses the ball out of bounds. Can't hang on. Rutgers with a chance to take the lead. They lost to St. John's by 2 in the regular season. A chance to take the lead here. Ensuing possession for them. Colburn drives. A lot of contact, no foul call. Let's take another look at it. Colburn appears to get fouled by DJ Kennedy, but there's no call. St. John's able to draw a foul after the play. Justin Brownlee at the line for St. John's, 67% free throw shooter, misses. Ball goes out of bounds off Rutgers. Rice can't believe it, and here's why. Jonathan Mitchell appears to be fouled over the back, but there's no call. And Rice like, why isn't there a call? So now, 4.9 seconds to go. Rutgers down 2. Long pass here. Contact at midcourt. Brownlee able to make the steal. Then as the clock runs down, Brownlee steps out of bounds before the clock runs out, throws the ball into the stands. Let's take another look at this. He stepped out of bounds with 1.7 seconds left on the clock. He said he was trying to throw it up to just let the time run out, but he wound up throwing it up too early. Again, you can see the clock, 1.7 to go, and he's out of bounds. And referee Tim Higgins doesn't make the call. Take a look at Rutgers' Robert Lumpkins. He is pleading to Higgins, but the officials walk off the court. One more look at it. A lot of contact on the pass. Brownlee grabs a loose ball. And again, he's clearly out of bounds. 1.7 on the clock in a 2-point game. Play doesn't get reviewed. and St. John's escapes with a win 65-63 over Rutgers. The result stands despite the issues.
Oh, dude. Northern Colorado hosting Montana. First half, Montana's up 2, but Northern Colorado's got the Big Sky Conference MVP, Devin Beitzel, the steal. This game was tied at the half. Second half, Montana up 4. Beitzel, bounce pass down low. Mike Proctor dunk. 2-point game. Now a set play out of a timeout. Beitzel, follow away 3, top of the key. 13 of his 27 in the final 5 minutes. Northern Colorado taking the lead, not giving it back. Beitzel, another 3. He made 14 free throws. He was 5 of 13 from the field. But now it's a 6-point game, and Kareem Jamar cuts it in half. Swoosh, he goes with the basket. But less than 15 seconds to go, Montana down 4. Northern Colorado the steal. That seals the deal. 65-60. Coach B.J. Hill going crazy, and they're going crazy at Cables in Greeley as well. Let's check it out. Northern Colorado making its first ever appearance in the men's basketball championship. You wonder, Northern Colorado, about an hour north of Denver. Guy who owns the Colorado Rockies, by the way, is a Northern Colorado alum. Team didn't become postseason eligible until the 07-08 season because they went from D2 to D1, and our bracketologist has the Bears projected as a 15 seed.
Big Sky good, Vanilla Sky not so good. Northeast Conference title game, Robert Morris and Long Island from Brooklyn. The Blackbirds, that's Long Island, they won 12 in a row. Andrew Toole is Robert Morris's head coach. He's the youngest Division I coach at 30 years old. Second half, Long Island up 6. Julian Boyd tries to throw it down, but he misses, and he wasn't even that close. But Boyd would redeem himself. Kind of go for a Blake Griffin there. About a minute later, Long Island in transition. This time, 2 hands for Boyd, and he finishes. Blackbirds up 8 with 2:30 to play. 20 seconds to play now. Morris down 3. Coach Toole drawing up a play. Draws it up for Russell Johnson. Bang, bang, bang. 10-2 run. Ties the game at 74 with 16.8 to go. Time winding down. Boyd's tip doesn't go, so we go to overtime. Tied at 74. Under 2 minutes left in overtime, tied at 80. Jamal Olasaware picked a great time to have his best game of the season. 31 points for him, including 7 in overtime. Long Island up 2 there. 6.1 to go. Morris down 3. They're going to try Johnson again on a 3-ball. Misses short, but the ball goes out of bounds off Long Island. So Morris will get another chance. 0.8 to go now. Johnson gets a look at a 3 again. He said it felt good, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't go in, and it didn't go in. Long Island wins. I guess you celebrate with iced tea. It's their first NCAA tournament appearance in 14 years. And Olasaware said they better watch out. We're taking this to a national stage. They've won 13 games in a row. They'll make their 4th appearance at the men's basketball championship. They're 0-3 in tournament games. Their 27 wins, the most since Claire B. led LIU to a 28-3 record in 36-37. ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi correctly picked 192 of 195 teams over the last 3 years.
A unanimous first team all Big East pick? Huh? First half, UConn down 4. Walker crossover. The old-fashioned 3. UConn down 1. Still in the first half. Huskies now up 9. Jeremy Lamb the steal, and, well, he'll finish what he started. Jim Calhoun's club up double digits. Now up 12. We're still in the first half. Walker. Oh! The block! The shot and the foul. UConn up 12 at the half. Walker, 28 points. Uses the screen, finishes 79-62. Coach Calhoun says we may have some momentum. Gonna need it. Got Pittsburgh next.
West Virginia taking on Marquette. Bob Huggins and company 11-0 in March during the last 2 seasons. We pick it up second half. Marquette down 7. Casey Mitchell gets caught on the screen. Junior Cadogan. Bucket and the foul. Cadogan had 15. He helped Marquette's bench outscore West Virginia's bench 32-16. And Bob Huggins talking to Casey Mitchell before he checks back in later in the second half. And I think he told him, Mitchell, you better get out there and hit a 3. And he did. And the Mountaineers up 3. Later in the second half, game tied at 55. Dwight Bikes forces a steal. Go the other way. Darius Johnson Odom gets open for 3. He started the game 2 for 8. Marquette up 3. And, Coach Huggins is having another moment, giving his team an earful. He was mad at his team. Buzz Williams said he was mad at Johnson Odom. Johnson Odom said he just needed to get into the flow of the game. He got into the flow of the game. Williams said those 2 shots changed the game. Those 2 threes you saw, Marquette goes on to win it 67-59. 61.
You know, the last time Cincinnati went to the NCAA Tournament, Bob Huggins was on the sidelines. It was the 04-05 season. South Florida hoping to repeat what it did against Villanova the night before, taking on Cincinnati. But Yancey Gates just having none of it. The Cincinnati native junior forward just brought his game. 11 points on 5 of 5 shooting in the first half. And he found Sean Kilpatrick for the lay-in there. Cincinnati up 8 at the half. Second half. USF says, you know what, we better double-team Gates. He's hot. Well, now you got one defender to guard 2 guys. That's advantage Cincinnati, and it's Deion Dixon for 3. Dixon had 21, but boy, it was really about Gates. Career high 25 points, 10 of 11 shooting, finishes with the slam. Cincinnati 87-61. Mick Cronin's club.
12 tournament in Kansas City. First up, Oklahoma State and Nebraska. Under 5 minutes left. Second half, Keaton Page knocking down the three-pointer. Cowboys down 1. Next Cowboys possession, it's Page again. Hits another 3. Cowboys up 2. 25 seconds to go. Nebraska down by 3. Tony McRae, how does he get that free? Nebraska down just 1. Page, 90% free throw shooter on the season, shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. And wouldn't you know, he missed the free throw. Nebraska gets the rebound in the timeout. 8 seconds left. Nebraska down by 1. Lance Jeter dribbling around trying to find. Not what they drew up. Jeter had 17. Oklahoma State survives. They win at 53-52.
Stan, I'm going to see your Oklahoma State. Nebraska raised you. Colorado, Iowa State. Our bracketologist, Joe Lenardi, has Colorado one of the last 4 in the NCAA tournament. Their success comes in large part because of the play of all Big 12 selection Alec Burks. That's him. And Dad says, and 1. He fouled it. 5 minutes left. Iowa State last place, but Jake Anderson, career high 33. Iowa State up 2. We got 3 minutes to go. Deontay Garrett open for 3. Cyclones a 5-point lead. Under 2 minutes left. Buffalo down 3. Burks, 25 of his 29 in the second half. He also had 15 boards. Iowa State now down 2. 20 seconds to go. Garrett looking for the tie. And in again, out again, Finnegan. Colorado survives, wins by 2. Will face Kansas State next.
Last go-around for Pat Knight, who's out after the season at Texas Tech. Red Raiders taking on Missouri. So every game could potentially be the last game for Knight. Brad Reese comes up with the steal. John Robertson trying to get his coach another game. Red Raiders up 1. Robertson had 28. Later in the first, Tigers down 5 in transition. Kim English to Marcus Denman. Good idea. Denman had 20. Missouri down 3. Second half, Tigers up 3. Denman, no conscience, but he's got range. Missouri up 6. Ensuing possession for the Tigers. English ahead to Justin Safford. They didn't stop ball. Mizzou up 8. Tech rallied back. Final seconds down 3. Robertson. Well, he can say goodbye to his coach now. Missouri hangs on to win 88-84. Knight done at Texas Tech. Tigers get Texas A&M